Just double checking into some technical issues on my back end on YouTube. I could see everything running. The connection said it was great, but I didn't see any video on my screen. So I was like, oh, is this working? Are we okay? That's the tough part about doing these live streams, of course, is you're kind of throwing caution to the wind because you gotta believe everything's working. Maybe it's a matter of faith, but it looks like it's working now at any rate. But good to see everybody piling in. Great to see you all. Hello, Bill Simone, Deborah Neighbors, Werewolf, Rachel Gets It Right, Josh Casto, Eric Fry, Owl 13, and who else? That was the screen full of people. Great to see all you guys, though. It looks like who did I miss? Lisa Piper's here. How you doing, Lisa? Good to see you. That's a new name to me. You might not be new, but you're new to me. So welcome to the show. Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate that. Hopefully you like it and you get subscribed. No pressure. We got Rachel here. Who else? Marie Garman is here. Dale Atkinson is here. As is Tyler 420 and Emmanuel. And have I said everyone? Owl 13 is here. Wonderful, of course, to see you all. T-Bone was the first one in the door tonight. So over on the Rumble, we got Barbara Mora, Justin Good Earth, and Car Juice over there. Good to see you guys. Thanks for popping in and being a part of the festivities. Of course, Eric Fry popped in as well. Good to see you, Eric. Appreciate you being here. Tyler 420, in case I didn't say hello to you. Hello as well. That's another name I don't know if I'm familiar with. But again, it could be a rebranding. You could all be rebranded. I don't know. But it looks new to me, so all I could do is point it out and say, hey, welcome to the show. Hope you like it. Hi, Karen Albertine. Good to see you. Michelle Wolfong is here as well. Sharon Sunshine. And the party just keeps growing as we head into this Friday fun fest of the weird and wonderful world of the paranormal. And by paranormal, a lot of times people equate paranormal with ghosts. Like, oh, it's hauntings. Hauntings and ghosts. That's paranormal. Everything unusual and not normal is paranormal by definition. So we cover it all here. We cover cryptozoology, we cover UFOs, we cover ghosts and strange phenomena and anything else, basically anything else that appeals to me. It's a pretty wide open playlist, really. But we cover all the bases as well as we can, so that's wonderful. And hopefully, if you are new to the show, you'll like it and decide to stick around. Sheldon will be with us as soon as Sheldon can be with us. So he'll be joining us sometime in the near future here. That means I'm not normal. Absolutely, Dale. You are among your people here if you're not normal. This is where the not normal people belong. Right here on the portal. That's my people because I'm not normal. I have no aspirations to ever be normal. I just think life's too short. You gotta choose the shape of your leaf on the tree of life. And mine is definitely like a spirograph. Do you remember those things? When some of us were little, we had these little gears and you could put a pen in them and wheel them around and they would make all these cool patterns. That's my generation right there. So normal isn't fun. You're right, BJ Lapierre. Good to see you as well. And Wizard came in. Awesome to see you as well. So yeah, if you're not normal, this is where you belong. Eric, need coffee. Rachel's handing out the coffee in the chat, so line up accordingly and be patient. She's going as fast as she can. So, but it's great to see you all. Standing Stones. Normal is a setting on my main tag. Yeah, it sounds like a laundry setting. It doesn't sound like the way it should live. I think you gotta embrace life. You gotta be weird. You gotta express yourself. Whatever that means, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else or take advantage of other people, express yourself. Be you, whatever that means. I don't even know what it means to be me, so I can't really be an arbiter of good taste on that because I don't know what the hell I'm doing most of the time, but I'm having fun doing it. Hey, Bogart, what did you do? What was that? Mine to Brent. I see that. What did that look like? See, on my chat on screen, it just actually is very literal when you post emojis or stickers. So I got to look over here and see what the hell that looks like. Bogart. Oh, lots of hearts and trophies. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I don't know what normal is either. I don't want to know. Hi, Mike Prine over on Facebook. Good to see you there. Thanks for checking in from Facebook. Brent will be here Sunday. Where am I going to be? Oh, I am going to be there. You're right. That is right. At 3 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be on Michigan UFO and Paranormal. I got to put something up here quickly because I got a bit of an announcement to make here. Since we're kind of heading into the months are flying by. Like, it won't be long. Phenomenon will be happening in Utah, Vernal, Utah, and I'll be there at that conference at my Paranormal Portal booth. If you're happen to be in Vernal, Utah in the beginning of September, you should be there because it really is a fantastic event. You can go to phenomicon.net or .com. I can't remember. I think it's .net and check out the event. But there's some amazing people going to be there speaking and presenting, and lots of incredible information and a great chance to meet some of the people you've been following, including me. I'd love to meet some of you guys. So if you're in Vernal, Utah around September 4th through the 7th, I think is when it is, then head over there. And then end of September, I'll be at the Crossing Realms Conference. That'll be in Missouri. And that'll be a blast too. I think that's the 24th and 25th, I think. But anyway, I got to do this before I forget what I'm doing here. I'm going to make it so I can pull it up on screen here. All right. I got to go. Okay. Then I got to look for it quick. It'll only take me a second because I know exactly where I put it. I just got this graphic today and I'm really excited about it because this is an event that'll be coming up in October that I'm going to be a part of. And it's very unusual. GH. Where the hell is it? Where is it? I can't believe I can't find it. Where is it? Where did I put it? I know I put it in here. Oh, there it is. Derp. All right, I found it. Let me do this. Click OK. There it is. I'm going to be here on October 24th, 2025 at the Barrel House Z in Weymouth, Massachusetts with the Hometown Ghost Stories guys. We're doing live presentations. They're going to be there, of course. I'm going to be opening for them, I guess, is kind of what it's looking like. I prefer co-headlining. But I'll be there with the Hometown Ghost Stories guys, so I hope you guys are seeing that on your screen. That will be coming up October 24th. So definitely be there, featuring special guests is my favorite part, the Brent Thomas part on the left there, lower left. So I'll be there in October 24th in Massachusetts doing a live presentation. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I got some ideas floating around that I think will be fun. So I've done some presentations at conferences here and there, but I'm not going to do just a presentation. I'm going to do something as multimedia as I can manage to wrangle and pull together, but should be a good time. So here's the thing though, and I got to look at my notes here that was sent. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. So if you go to Eventbrite and look up this event and you use the promo code GHOST, GHOST, you'll get 25% off the tickets through the month of July. So it's $5 off each ticket, and it would be great to see you guys there. So if any of you are on the East Coast and like, you know what, I'd like to hang out with Brent Thomas and the Hometown Ghost Stories guys, this is where you should do it. This is exactly where that should be happening. So definitely love to see you guys there, but that'll be coming up October 24th, 2025. So I hope you guys will check it out. All right, now I better pull it down so it doesn't look like I'm just using a static image for my whole show. But I'm really excited about that. That's the newest one. So Phenomenon, the Crossing Realms Conference, and that'll be with Tex and BMR and Monica and the Blondes and Booze and Donnie Cho and so many, that whole amazing crew of people will be there. I'll be there. And then in October over to this one in Massachusetts. So those are my events so far that I've got lined up. Nate says, Brent, you the man. I don't know if I'm the man, but I'm a man and doing the best man I know how to do. So anyway, I hope to see some of you guys there. If you can make it, that'd be really fun. And definitely. It's going to be really more, the last one I think will be much more of a, hangout kind of thing as well. So it'll be a live presentation and a hangout and just a good time. So I know the Hometown Ghost Stories guys know how to have a good time. Yeah, it's the Island of Misfits over on the Crossing Realms show over there in Missouri. So that'll be a good time. So that's the events coming up. I just wanted to make sure to put it all out there. I just got that graphic. Taco, come over to one of them. I'll be in Massachusetts, in Missouri in end of September. I think that's doable for you, isn't it? I mean, aren't you still over there in the Dakotas somewhere? I don't know exactly where you are right now, brother. So I'm sorry. I forget more than I remember these days, I'm telling you. But I'd love to meet you guys. I've really, really loved doing conferences and having people come up going, oh my God, it's me. And they'll say their chat name. It's like, oh, it's so cool to me because you guys are words on a screen and names and little images and wonderful personalities. And I love you all dearly, but it's just extra special, extra special when I can meet you in person and shake your hands. And like I've met Justin Goodearth a few times, wonderful, wonderful guy. We had a great time hanging out and I don't know. He and his whole family are wonderful people. And Barbara Mora, I've met her several times at conferences and stuff, and she's just become an amazing friend. So I would love the opportunity to meet all of you guys. So if you can be at one of those conferences, please do. Please come and say hello to me, and that'd be wonderful. I'd be really honored to meet you guys. All right, Karen Alberting, I met her and Neil. Yeah, I mean it's been really cool. Few of you I've met, but I'd love to meet y'all. There is a possibility, this is a future reference, distant future, but that Dave Scott and I might join forces and add Paranormal Portal to his Las Vegas hangout for SOR, Spaced Out Radio. So I might end up joining him next, I don't know, when did he do it? He does it in May, I think, next May. In Las Vegas for a hangout there. So I don't know if Las Vegas is doable for you. That may be a better angle. But anyway, just try to catch me anywhere you can. I would love the opportunity to meet each and every one of you. And thank you so much for being a part of what I'm doing and supporting this dream and being a part of my life. So that will be great. First week in May, Tim James says, hey, Tim James, good to see you, brother. Yeah, and Dave and I were talking about that. So I might be really, really prematurely letting that cat out of the bag. I don't know if that was for public discourse yet or not, but I'm excited about it. So anyway, but those are some opportunities that are coming up to come hang out with me. Come say hello. Come give me a hug. Let me give you a hug. And thank you in person for all your love and support. So, all right, there we go. We're going to get to the news right now, and then we're going to get to, I guess it's Friday, so we're going to get to an article and go through that, dealing with, I think those are military personnel stories that we've been covering, and those are really good. Brent, did you ever get my email? Taco, which email did you send me? I don't recall getting any email from you. Are you sure you sent it to the right address? Make sure to send it to Paranormal Portal Radio, all one word, Paranormal Portal Radio @gmail.com. Now, Taco, you should have my email address, but I don't think I've seen anything come through from you unless you just sent it. And if you did, then no, I haven't seen my email for a little bit, but do double check your where you're sending it. I know somebody just sent me a story, their own experience, but it went to a different email address by accident. So we got that straightened out, and I did get that. So be sure to check the email address, paranormalportalradio @gmail.com. I'd love to hear your stories. Love to see, you just want to say hi. Please say hi to me. Let me know what you're doing out there. I'm very interested in all of y'all. So let's get to the news and check it out. What the hell's going on in the world? I don't even remember what I pulled up. I hope this thing is working. It's just a big black screen. Usually it shows me something. Let me just look at this quick because I got the Zoom all set up for Sheldon to come, but I want to make sure. Let me go to video settings. There we go. Well, that doesn't look right at all. I think that's okay. All right. I think it's okay. I think it's ready. We'll find out when Sheldon comes in. as soon as he's able to. So let's get to the news and see what the hell is going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. Bless you, Rachel. She says, Brent, is the ghost box set up? It is now. It is now. I should try to re-add that. I don't know why that's a bit of a problem. Let me see if I can re-add it to this screen at least. Where the hell would it be? Blah, 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 blah. Is it not media source, is it? There it is. It's got to be here somewhere. Let's see. Let's see if this is it. No, it's not really giving me anything to work with here. I don't know why. Okay. No, it does, for some reason it's not working on the scene. It'll work on the regular scenes, but it is running now. We'll hear it if anything goes off with the ghost radar. A lot of times I'll put it like down here in this corner. There, somewhere. But it's not working right for some reason. I got to look into that. Or just redo it. But in any case, the ghost radar is not. It is on, but it's not visible. I'll watch it for all of us. It's me, paranormal eyes. Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, welcome to the news desk. This is the news desk of the Paranormal Portal, where we talk about news stories that are fascinating, interesting. Sometimes they're paranormal. Sometimes they're just unique, funny, odd, or entertaining. So let's see what we got pulled up tonight. I got several pulled up. I'm not sure which ones we're going to go through here. We'll do a few of them. This one, I did catch something about this. A lot of, for some reason, and I'm not sure why. First of all, let me say, throughout the course of the show, we utilize a lot of different sites. Please visit these sites. They are incredibly well done. These sites are top-notch, professionally done and updated, and they need your love. They need your traffic. So please pay attention to the websites that I read out. I always give sources where all of this stuff comes from. And I want you guys to visit these sites, to keep them going. Your traffic equals revenue. And I just want to make sure these sites stay operational, because they're working hard and they're doing incredible jobs. And it would break my heart to lose any of these sites. So please give them your love. The first story is coming from an amazing site. And this one is a topic that, for some reason, there's a huge pushback on the idea that some areas of North America where things like mountain lions were pushed out of and basically hunted into extinction in certain areas. And there's no question in my mind that these populations are making a comeback, and they're starting to reclaim those old territories that their ancestors may have, flourished in. And some of it is just urban development, urban expansion. Some of it is just ranchers and agricultural pressure on these animals to eradicate them on site. But they seem to be coming back with the inaction of protections and stuff. And this is certainly one of those cases where I think it's definitely making a return. But there is a lot of pushback on this. If you ask established governmental authorities, such as parks and wildlife and stuff, they'll say, no, there's no big cats around like there used to be. And even though people are catching images, they're catching footprints, they're seeing them, witnessing them, there's still this knee-jerk reaction to deny it. And I don't know why, because like everything else, whether it's a fantastical creature in some people's eyes like Bigfoot, Dogman, or just a mountain lion, people have a right to know if they're out there, because then they can make informed choices. Like, you know what? I don't want to go camping where there's mountain lions. I don't want to risk having one of them attack one of my babies or something like that. You know what I mean? Or my dog or whatever. People have a right to know this stuff, but there is a concerted effort to deny this stuff, even in the face of some pretty incredible evidence. Now, there's also been a lot of false claims, and I get that they don't want to, endorse or encourage that. Well, let's check out this article. The first one, possible mountain lion filmed outside a home in Rochester, New York. Now, mountain lions generally are very, very shy and elusive creatures, but they can pose an incredible danger to people or pets or whatever. I mean, they are literally top tier predators. They are stealthy. They are efficient, quick, and agile, and you'll be dead before you know you're even under attack. I mean, they're just so effective at what they do. People have a right to know. A mysterious large cat was filmed by a doorbell camera casually strolling past a house in a quiet neighborhood. The sighting, which took place before 4 a.m. on Wednesday, occurred outside the house of Stephanie Baez, whose dogs had also started to bark and howl at the unexpected visitor. On her Ring doorbell camera footage, a large cat can be seen walking from right to left. We do have outside cats. Sometimes they come to our porch and we could see them on the camera, but we could see it clear. Once I'd seen the camera, I was like, that tail was way too long and it was way too big. That posture was way too big. Well, after the clip was posted on social media, it quickly went viral and even ended up being featured on a local TV news network amid speculation that a mountain lion might be on the loose. These large cats are not native to New York State, and seeing one in Rochester is very odd indeed. I don't know why that would be the case, because I think they were pretty much indigenous to the entire North American continent. But anyway, let's continue. Some speculated that the beast might have escaped from a nearby zoo around 6 miles away, but the Rochester police later confirmed that all the zoo's animals had been accounted for. And there have been many claims of mountain lion sightings in New York State over the years, but most have turned out to be hoaxes or were based on videos recorded elsewhere. There is that. I will give them that. Whether or not this new footage really does show a mountain lion in the state, however, remains unclear. There it is right there. We're going to watch this video and you can see it for yourself. This looks like it comes from News 8 WROC out of New York. So let's check this out.
And Eric, we have Ring camera video of what a Rochester family, I want you to see this, what a Rochester family believes is a mountain lion. Let's take a look. A viewer sent this to us tonight. It's from a video camera on Breck Street off East Main Street in Rochester. Now they say camera.
I'm going to go back a little bit.
Sent this to us tonight.
Just to where it is.
Let's take a look. A viewer sent this to us tonight. It's from a video.
Now that's huge. That is huge. What is this? That is a big animal, whatever that is. It's large dog size at any rate, but it's clearly feline. But let's continue. We'll just continue to watch it through this time, or at least until I figure out something else to say.
Video camera on Breck Street off East Main Street in Rochester. Now they say they see the creature often. A quick search shows that mountain lions are not native to New York, but there have been a few sightings, according to the State Department of Environmental Conservation. DEC says mountain lions are often mistaken for other animals. Still, they encourage folks to report sightings along with physical evidence to them.
Was that it there on the left? Just for a few frames, kind of walking on over there?
Yeah, was it hard to see? I could see if we zoomed in, and I think there was a free...
Yeah, right there.
There it goes. So...
Well, it's not Bolt. He's
you
in
didn't
the car
have...
right now.
That was going to be my next...
So I think that's fascinating. I think that it is a mountain lion. I don't understand their claim because I don't think there was any parts of North America prior to, you know, the U.S. expansion or the formation of the United States and the ultimate expansion and eradication of a lot of these things. I mean, grizzly bears were kind of indigenous everywhere too, and they got pushed back up into the northern fringes for the most part. There's stories still of grizzlies around California and stuff and in the mountains, but yeah, I think it's very possible. Now, there was a claim online. Somebody was making that, well, no, it's clearly somebody's illegal exotic pet that got loose or something. Well, it's like, who is mountain lion pet anymore? You know, I mean, is it possible? Sure, but I think it's more likely it's just, native fauna reclaiming old land. But I'm not a biologist. I don't know enough about, what is normal ranges for these things and what isn't. But if it's not a mountain lion, it could be some form of panther, maybe come up on the eastern seaboard from Florida or whatever. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's clearly a big cat. It's got a really long tail. I think it's a fantastic capture. I would be very cautious to anybody living in that neighborhood, because it lives somewhere. It didn't just wander through suddenly. This is part of its range now, and my God, you can't be too careful. Now honestly, as much as I would say, look, they have a right to be there. If those creatures exist there, it's only a matter of time before somebody's kid gets pulled down and mauled or taken away and eaten. It's just a matter of time. So literally, I think they got to take this extraordinarily seriously and get that out of there, and relocate it somewhere where it can be, some distance, forested area or something where it would make more sense for that to exist. But I don't think you can. Justin Gooder says, hope it's not a mother. Yeah, what if it has cubs? What if it's out looking for some domesticated animals for some chow for the babies? I mean, really, we don't know what we're looking at here, but if there's one, there's a strong possibility that there is a breeding population of them. And that has to get taken care of. I'm not suggesting they destroy the animals, but I'm suggesting that they should make every effort to tranquilize or relocate it, trap it, in a non-lethal way, and get it moved to a place where it can be. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. They live in LA, no problem. Yeah, there's been mountain bikers attacked running through the hills of the LA region. People that are riding their mountain bikes and suddenly they got something chewing on their neck. And it's not pretty. People have been killed, joggers and stuff. Yeah. So this is crazy. I don't know why there's... I would love for somebody that knew more than me to say, yeah, that's really not part of their natural range, because that would be unusual. But in either case, the expansion of our civilization into the wilds and the untouched lands of
Umbrella.
Yeah. I don't need one today. Thank you, though. But it is possible that maybe they're not native to there, but maybe that's someplace they're going because they can't be where they used to be. They've been pushed out of areas that maybe they had, roamed for thousands of years. So it's interesting. Mountain lions are all over Colorado, here in Washington too. Yes, they've killed, but generally they don't. It's not unusual. Yeah. I don't think they go out of their way to hunt people, but sometimes they just, they start seeing something running, and that instinct comes in. Like I could put a string down on the floor, and my cats could give two craps about it. They could just ignore it all day long. But the minute I start moving that string, it's like, boom. They get focused, their little tails go up in the air, and they start shifting, and boom. So motion to these animals, and I'm sure it's very similar for the big cats as much as it is the domesticated one, but it's in motion. And if they're hungry and it's in motion, it's game on. So whether that's people or whatever, I think that's pretty sobering thought, that you could be out walking your dog and there's a mountain lion in your neighborhood. That to me is really terrifying stuff. And again, they're generally very shy and timid and elusive and avoid people at all costs. But there's plenty of Ring doorbell cameras showing in regions where mountain lions are, where they're up on the porch sniffing the cushions and stuff. And it's like, oh no, they're getting a little too comfortable. So just be careful. If you live in that region, be careful. I don't know. I'm no expert, but that one has me concerned. Because, the next story is going to be, a little girl was out biking with her puppy and tragedy. So, and then they got to put the cat down, and that's the sad part. So I hope they can relocate this safely and get it taken care of. So, all right, that's the first story. Bet you didn't know that before today. If you did, well, you're more informed than I am. All right, we're going to another one now, and this is a kind of an interesting story. I'm really fascinated by this because I think it'd be cool. I know it maybe is, maybe it's not a popular opinion for some people about reintroducing extinct species, but I think it's a fascinating proposal. I'm all for a Jurassic Park, honestly. I don't know. I don't know why. It's probably a stupid thing to say, but I just think it'd be neat to be able to see, what does a Diplodocus look like? How big is that? You know, I mean, you can see representations of it and kind of get an idea. Well, it'd be like standing next to a house. Okay, but my house doesn't move. What does a moving house size animal look like? And to me, that's fascinating. But what I'm talking about now, and of course, we've all heard about the dire wolves that were brought back, which aren't really genetically similar to the actual dire wolves or short-faced wolves or whatever it was, but what they did was they went into a genome of gray wolves and just enhanced the features that would make it look like the dire wolves. So what I'm talking about for this story is mammoths, actually mammoths. So let's check this one out. Why are we so obsessed with bringing woolly mammoths back to life? It is kind of a curious thing. Now, mammoths, if you've seen a real elephant, like Indian elephants are good size. They're plenty big. And there's other Asiatic elephants that are about the same size or a little bit smaller throughout the forests and jungles of Asia. And then there's the African elephants, which are much bigger. But as big as they are, then you have mammoths. And mammoths truly would dwarf African elephants. It would be like a Bigfoot standing next to a full-grown man. It's like, oh man. So I think it'd be fascinating to see, what does a mammoth look like? What do they behave? I mean, how do they behave? What do they do? What makes them distinctly different other than their appearance? And so I'm fascinated by the idea of being able to observe species that are long since gone. So let's check this out. Multiple companies are currently vying to de-extinct the mammoth, but why are we so hell-bent on making this happen? I'm in just the last several months, de-extinction, bringing back extinct species by recreating them or organisms that resemble them, has moved closer from science fiction to science fact. Colossal Biosciences, an American for-profit de-extinction startup headed by geneticists George Church and Beth Shapiro, announced two major achievements almost back to back. In the first, scientists spliced part of the woolly mammoth's genome into mice to create woolly mice. Woolly mice! Incredible, cute, pom-pom-like rodents sporting coats that express the genes of long extinct woolly mammoths. Did we need new mice? Weren't the ones we had good enough? What the hell is that all about? Just a few weeks later, Colossal announced an even bigger achievement, claiming to have brought back the dire wolf, a contemporary of the woolly mammoth, who, like their Ice Age proboscidean co-travelers, last roamed the Earth roughly 10,000 years ago. And that's a misnomer, because actually they didn't. They just genetically tweaked existing wolves' genomes to mimic what a dire wolf would look like, or at least some of the features. So that's a really inaccurate statement. This is a long article. I'll read the next section here. Mammoth popularity. Woolly mammoths are at the forefront of these controversial de-extinction efforts, despite a deep bench of more recently extinct species: the dodo, the moa, passenger pigeons, the bucardo, quagga, thylacine, aurochs, and a whole host of others readily available to take center stage in de-extinction efforts. Woolly mammoths figure prominently in de-extinction stories, both scientific and popular. Woolly mammoths featured prominently in the imagery of Revive and Restore, a genetic rescue conglomerate of scientists and futurists, headed by tech guru Steve Brand. In 2021, Colossal established ownership over Woolly Mammoth Revival. Colossal's own logo visualizes CRISPR-R, a gene splicing technology that facilitates de-extinction, and the signature spiraled tusks of the Mammuthus primigenius. Okay. primigenius, I guess. I don't know. These are big words. They're way out of my pay grade, but I'm going to try anyway. In popular culture, woolly mammoths have been a source of fascination for the last several centuries. Thomas Jefferson famously held out hope that live mammoths would be found beyond the frontier of American colonialism in the late 1700s, while early excavations of American mastodons were a major event in the early 1800s. American painter Charles Willson Peale captured the first such excavation in oils and later capitalized on that mastodon skeleton in his Philadelphia museum. More recently, Manny the Mammoth featured in the ongoing Ice Age animated film franchise, first launched in 2002. So I'm going to put a link to this article if anybody wants to read the rest of it and read more about what they're talking about. Go ahead, but I will say that I don't think that using CRISPR to, accentualize genetic traits is the same as de-extincting an animal. I think it's a very different thing. I think it sounds good on a press release. The direwolf stuff was all the rage for about 5 minutes until people realized, well, no, they just tweaked the genome of existing wolves to look more like direwolves. Well, that's not the same thing. They might be very similar in a lot of ways, but it's not the same thing. So anyway, that's what's on the board. I think it's a fascinating proposal. Let's bring something back. Let's look at it. See what it looks like. What does it do? And let's observe it. See what we can learn. But at any rate, that's the second story. We got one more, and we're going to get to that now. This one is from the world of bizarre. I bet you, everybody that has a car is probably like, well, I want the most cost efficient car. I want the most miles per gallon. I want to be able to hop in my car and maybe head to the store, not really have to think about it. Everybody's looking for cost effective means of transportation. This might be the most miles per gallon a car ever has driven. I don't know how many miles per gallon it is, but wait till you see this car. There's not much to it, but here we go. From the world of the bizarre of unexplained-mysteries.com. Nonsensically narrow world's thinnest car is unveiled in Italy. What the hell is that? I should have saved this for the what the hell is that segment, but what the hell is that? It's like a car clops, like a Cyclops car. It's got one headlight, no grill. I guess maybe there's a grill on the front here of some sort. But are you kidding me? If you were in a stiff wind, you'd be on your side. Like, thump. It would just tip over, wouldn't it? That thing is not staying up. There's no way in hell. If you were in a crosswind, you'd be sitting there rubbing your arm on the pavement.
What the hell is this?
Do you see it?
Yes.
You want one?
No.
Look at that. Look at that windshield. Is that not
be able to complete a roundabout?
I'll bet you could probably do some serious figures eights, though.
Well, scratching the entire side, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you got to lean into it like a motorcycle. That is weird, isn't it?
No.
Nope. Well, let's see what it
bizarre.
says. Let's see what it says, Mr. Sheldon.
All right.
I'll go to this so you can be on screen with me. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Sheldon Thomas is here. Look at that grin. All right, here we go. The ridiculously thin Fiat Panda actually functions as a working car despite being a mere 50 centimeters in width. Man, it's talking a lot. It said Sarah.
Sarah.
Who's out there named Sarah? That might have been for you.
Sarah.
Sarah, you're being paged. Sarah, to the switchboard. Okay. All right. Built by 30-year-old Italian mechanic Andrea Marazzi, the insane vehicle was put together using parts from an original 1993 Fiat Panda and was recently demonstrated at the 45th anniversary of the Panda in Pandino, a small Italian town in the southeast of Milan. The car is so thin that it's impossible to even fit inside unless you happen to be relatively slim. Yeah, I'm not getting in that. There's no way in hell. I'd like get one cheek in there and that'd be it. Oof. I'd have to have the convertible version. While certainly helpful to fitting into tiny gaps, the car is a little on the unstable side, though it does take at least a bit more than just a stiff breeze to cause it to topple over. Many people think it will just tip over just by blowing, but they're wrong, says Marazzi. Accordingly, the tiny car has most of the features typical of any vehicle, including four wheels. They're counting wheels. Okay. Well, if that's where you got to start, that's not a good place. 2 rear view mirrors and 2 passenger doors on either side. Yeah, but only one person's getting in there. Right? Exactly. Unless there's a back seat. I'm dying to rotate this to take a look. It even has a back seat, albeit one only big enough for a small child to fit inside. Okay. Just get a bike. Come on. The Narrow Panda invites viewers to rethink proportions, functionality, and playfulness in mechanical design, said consumer electronics expert, how do you say that name, Gaurav Su? It's a rolling experiment, part engineering challenge, part tribute, and part public spectacle. We got to watch this. From the Daily Mail Business, we're going to check out this video from YouTube, from their website, and here we go.
Come with me for fun in my bargain.
Oh, can't do the music. There it is. There's that little trendsetter going. It's literally a glorified wagon, right? What does it use for an engine? I'm just dying to know what it's got an engine. Maybe a motorcycle engine? Yeah. I mean, I guess you could fit that in there, right?
It would have to be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to fit, obviously, any normal car engine, but that's strange. Or if it's just battery, I don't know. Might as well be, really, but that's pretty crazy. There you go, folks. Maybe you never saw that before, but you've seen it now. You're welcome. I guess that's the news.
That's something.
That's something. Well, I'm glad you made it for the little skinny car, Sheldon.
Yeah, I'm glad too. As Chucky said, the car clops.
That's what I said first.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
The Chucky did.
I read it. I didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, that's fine. Wait a second. I need some credit here once in a while.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just resizing your frame so you fit better. Yeah, the car clops. Maybe I said it different. That does sound better, though, the car clops. I might have said car lops or something. It does. It has one headlight. That's so funny. With one headlight. Just that song, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was the news. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sheldon's here. We can get into the meat and taters of the show now. It's on. I'm gonna
yes, I love me some meat and taters.
I do too, actually. Yeah. I do too. That's how I was raised. But anyway, let's get back to the rest of the show, folks. Now everybody can hear me.
Yes.
The speakers only work like this. So what is the ghost box said? Sarah said something earlier first. Umbrella and Sarah tonight. Umbrella and Sarah. Does that mean anything to you, Sheldon?
I don't even know a Sarah. Nope.
I've known a few through my life, but none that I can't think of any I'm currently in contact with. It was like way back machine kind of stuff, but yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I don't know. But anyway, we got a lot to get to. How you doing, first of all, Sheldon?
I am wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially on this Friday. Friday's the best day. It's just the best day.
It's a good day. It is a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. And we're going to jump into an article from So Much Catalog. We've been going through for a while.
Excellent.
There's another story of De-extinction that I'm going to cover tomorrow, but it has to do with Peter Jackson. being involved in de-extincting a giant bird. And I imagine it's the giant moa, but I haven't read the article, so I don't know. Kind of getting ahead of myself here a little bit.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. We're going to get to this thought catalog article. This is written by January Nelson is the name of the author of this, and it's a Reddit scrape article where they post a question on Reddit and then they farm the comments for the article. And I love these articles. These are interesting and fun. And again, there's a million questions that could be asked that we can't ask because we don't know the people. We don't have the ability to look into it at all. All we can do is take these at face value, but I think they're fascinating. So this article is called 30 Spooky Paranormal Stories from Former Military Personnel. So, yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And again, I want to reiterate to everybody, make sure to check out Tales from the Grid Square on Instagram. It's Nick Orton's site. Nick's a great guy, and his site is incredible. He takes actual accounts from people in the military. Nick is an active military guy himself, and he puts them out there for everybody so they can hear these incredible stories. There's stories coming out of Afghanistan, things people have seen, all around the world where people have had active duty and have had paranormal, supernatural, cryptozoological encounters. It's pretty crazy. So check out Tales from the Grid Square if you want an introduction to Nick Orton. Check out the podcast because I interviewed him there. And he also appeared on Sasquatch Chronicles as well with Wes. But great guy and got some fascinating stories over there. All right, but we're on number 18, and this is where we're at. So let's get to this. You ready, Sheldon?
Always.
All right. Is a dude vanishing spooky enough? I was on one rooftop on post with another Marine, and on the building next to mine was a dude smoking a cigarette. I looked to my partner to mention it, but when we looked again, he was gone. The roof access door for that building was very rusty and loud, so there's no way he snuck out in those few seconds it took to get my partner's attention. Very short story, but yeah, I mean, certainly could be paranormal, supernatural. Any thoughts on that one, Sheldon?
I was actually just thinking about that. Even recently, I've had something kind of similar
Really?
where, well, it's kind of like shadow people, but it was different this time.
Okay.
You see something in the corner of your eye, someone walking, and then you look over, it's not there. It wasn't like a shadow person this time. It was earlier this week. I don't remember where it was. I was setting up cones for my job and all that, and I saw on the corner of my eye, I saw something that looked like a woman walking, and I mean that's all it was. I just look up and no one was there.
Oh.
It was really odd, but it wasn't like a shadow. It was like light. I don't know how to describe it. It was really odd actually.
Well, that's pretty cool. I generally don't trust those a lot myself just because of my blindness and the peripheral vision blindness. Like,
All right.
I see flashes of light and stuff all the time in that blind, but I think it's just scar tissue bouncing around inside of my eye from when I got shot in the eye with the BB. But so whenever they happen, I don't even pay attention. On this side, however, on my left side, I do pay attention. It's like, whoa, what the hell was that? Something moved.
Yeah.
You know what I've been seeing kind of lately, and it's kind of interesting, is a little dark mass about the size of Anubis, but it's not Anubis. It looks like a little shadowy mass about the size of a cat scooting around. And so maybe somebody owned a cat here, and maybe that's part of the weirdness around here. But I've been seeing that more and more lately, and I find that fascinating. Like, oh, that's interesting. So
You know what that reminds me of actually? This has been happening probably the past month, and I think it's Xena. Maybe.
Oh.
Could be wrong, but
our old dog, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe.
I keep seeing a German Shepherd, down, I guess down in my lower whatever corner that you guys are seeing it, and I think it's no when I turn and nothing's there. And I swear it's a German Shepherd. I see the color pattern,
Yeah.
but
Well,
then I
wouldn't
look and
surprise me.
nothing's there.
She was primarily your dog. She was pretty inseparable to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. It's a great thought that they, again, our pets may stick right by us. They might be right there all the time, and we just don't know it. I got to get down to the new chat messages here. I'm the ex-military and I haven't seen anything but heard stories about a specter moose. Riley Ron Ivy Forrest says, oh, interesting.
Oh.
Well, that's kind of interesting as well, Riley, because Riley Ron, I don't know what to call you. I'll just call you Riley Ron. But a lot of I don't know, like even First Nations talk about the spirits, the greater spirits, the elder spirits of certain things, including like moose and bear and things like that. So I wonder if it's some correlation to that you heard stories about a specter moose because maybe they saw one of those elder spirits or natural spirits like that wandering around. Very cool though.
Wow.
All right, let's go to number 19. Girl unalived herself with rope in a space right around the corner from where I sleep. I wouldn't go in that space for about 2 days after. And when I did, I opened the door and a super loud screeching, screaming noise came out from somewhere. There's a lot of noises on a Navy ship, but this one came out the second I closed the door. Needless to say, I have yet to return to that space. Yeah, granted. I mean, yeah. I don't think I would have probably gone in there any time around that, just because I think in cases like that, and I don't know, again, it's all speculative, but if if that kind of event is very fresh, I think the soul is probably still lingering and maybe for quite some time after, but it's that initial panicky, phase. And I think that's when it's the most volatile, is when it's pretty fresh. Maybe not like right after, but recently after is when those kind of activities, they can continue for, centuries, I suppose. But
there probably isn't a limit.
no, probably not. Yeah, I guess it would depend on the person, because I think they linger because it's the old unfinished business. Like something drove them to that point. And so they're probably just trying to process what that is. And maybe they do at some point, and then it just kind of, they are able to transition, or they find their absolution, so to speak, and are able to move on. Any number of guesses on that. But yeah, I think those energies when they're fresh are very, very potent. Like, for instance, not that my dad's situation was an unaliving, but, he did pass of COPD, and following that for months and months, there was activity all over my mom's house. Like he was still there and he was making sure everybody knew he was still there. And then finally it just dissipated. Like, he seems to have finally moved on. And when that happened was when I had one of the dreams that I had with my dad. I always tell people about the one where he came to see me and we were able to heal those old pains, that those words were never spoken. I got to speak them and find that peace and love with him. But there was several of them that I experienced with my dad in them. And the final one that I ever experienced with him was I was on this great stairway, like a great stairway, maybe symbolic to the other side. I don't know. It's some kind of representation, but he was higher up on the stairs, but he was coming down the stairs towards me, and I went up the stairs to him. But then I hit a barrier that I couldn't pass. It was like I hit a wall in this dream, and I was like, oh no. And then he hit the barrier coming down, like he had already transitioned. And he pushed his hand, and if you had ever known my dad, he was one of those, like, he was not a tall man, but he was like a gorilla, just a force. I mean, the guy was just a brute. And he pushed on that thing so hard that his hand actually like was bending it out towards me. And then he had to stop. And then I realized that maybe this is him saying goodbye. Like he's going now. And that was the last time I saw him in a dream. So it was emotional. Yeah. He was coming from heaven to see you, Brent. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought. Like he'd transitioned, but wanted to say, I just wanted you to know I'm going now. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. Still, the tears and stuff, but it was a happy tear at that point, It was really, really joyous because I was like, okay, well, he's found his way home now. But it took a while. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if some people just go and they're done, and some people linger from, maybe things in their life they wanted to straighten out and then they go. I think that that's probably a possibility. Sometimes a lot of people do have confirmation bias. They want to believe something before doing the research. Well, that's certainly true, Riley. I certainly want to believe that my dad came to me in this case, for sure, because it's healing for me as well. It's hard to lose someone that you love. Even though our relationship was challenging, I loved him and he loved me. It's just we butted heads a lot. As you know, Sheldon.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only thing I'd say on that is, how can you do research on this kind of stuff?
Well,
that's the tough thing about the paranormal.
Yeah, it's hard to really look into any absolutes because it's all subjective. It has a lot to do with belief systems and paradigms and stuff, and how do you research that? But no, and Riley might have been talking. He might have been talking about something else. But
that's
anyway,
true. That's true.
I just picked something out of the chat and talked. But anyway, number 20, my grandfather in World War II had a past life experience. When he arrived in Nice, France, for the first time, he remembered it like it was his home. Street names, layouts, etc. That's fascinating too. I think past life stuff is very interesting.
Oh, yeah. Always fascinated by those.
Yeah. Number 21, breach and clear of an abandoned hospital with no electricity at 2 a.m. in an active combat zone. No lights inside the entire building outside of our own mounted tack lights. Beds and medical equipment strewn everywhere. Extremely unnerving. Oh, and my brother swears he saw a 15-foot tall humanoid running extremely fast while on guard duty at night in Africa. He said the dogs they had on base freaked out and ran off when they saw it. He told me a handful of soldiers witnessed it that night. What would have... Well, I don't know. This is Africa, though. I mean, they have... Well, I'm not sure what the African version of Sasquatch is, but 15 feet tall is gigantic. I've heard claims like that, 15-foot Bigfoot out of like Alaska. Some in in the north as well, but mostly Alaska I think is where the biggest ones I've heard of. But there are claims even down here in the States of over 10 feet, and I don't know. I mean, I can't say how big they get or whatever, but it is interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
What I wonder is there an African equivalent to Bigfoot? Let's see what it says. What?
The 15-foot thing, I mean, when you're in fear, you exaggerate it too, so.
Sure. So, yes, there are several African cryptids that are often considered equivalent to Bigfoot, including the water babajian, or Fudu, in South Africa, and the Agogwe in East Africa. That's interesting, Agogwe. And then there's the Gugwe up here in North America, which is the face eaters, the very aggressive form of Sasquatch, is the claim. But, yeah, they do...
Face eaters?
Yeah, Gugwe, Gugwe, Gugwe.
Oh.
But they're often referred to as the face eaters. Like they'll just eat your face off. They're very aggressive, apparently.
Oh God.
Yeah. I think that's the right definition of it. Gugwe definition. What does it say? Gugwe is a creature from the Mi'kmaq folklore, often described as a large ape-like being with a baboon or mandrill-like face, sometimes associated with Bigfoot or other cryptids. Some cryptozoological enthusiasts believe the Gugwe is a distinct creature, while others consider it a variation of Bigfoot. It's also described as aggressive and potentially canine-like by some. So if you look up a image of something called the Beast of Seven Shoots, that's supposedly a capture of what a Gugwe would look like, a younger one. It's not as big and robust as some of them, but they got that baboon-like face. And some people have thought maybe that that's where Dogman claims come from, as people are seeing Gugwe, or vice versa. Maybe people are seeing Dogman and thinking it's a Gugwe.
Oh, Eric, I was thinking the same thing. Eric said, Googway are also thought to be mistaken for Dogman.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It goes either way. Googway. Yep. Absolutely. So there's a little bit of information. We're kind of hitting the cryptid corner a little early, but that's okay. We can do that. It's wide open, folks. There's no set agenda here on the portal. All right, let's go to the next one. 22, kind of fitting since it's the anniversary of the Cole bombing was October 12th. I don't know when that is, but I was fortunate to serve on the 2010 deployment for this fine war vessel since my ship is still being built down in Mississippi. As part of being in engineering department, it is basically drilled into your head of what happened on the ship and the people who fought to keep the boat from sinking. For me, the creepiest things I got about to seeing was misplaced items. I've set down something, and sometime later, the item would be in a different location, and that's the end of the story. Okay.
I swear that's happened to me too.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that those could be several things. They might be mischievous spirits, trickster, could be you went into a different version of reality where things are shifted a little. I don't know. I mean, there's any number of ideas, apports, deports, where spirits take things and then drop them somewhere else.
Do you remember? Oh my God! Do you remember a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it's been since if we even brought this up before.
Yeah.
Remember that? No.
Oh, okay.
No. Do you remember that random mummified frog?
Yes, that I found in my car.
Yes.
Yes. I wish I'd taken better care of that because that was the coolest looking little thing.
It was.
So, God, I'm going to go full screen here and kind of show you guys. In my car, and it was that the Ford? Yeah. So I had a Ford car, and in my car in the summertime, there was, I'll bring you up on screen too. We get in my car, and it's a summer day, hot summer day. I don't think we'd been anywhere for a while, but somehow or another, on the console of my car was just sitting there this little mummified frog. It was only about maybe an inch and a half, size, a little tree frog looking frog, but it looked like it was meditating. Even its fingers were like this on its chest, and it's hard to God, I gotta go full screen for me. Its fingers were like this on its chest, like maybe like this, and its legs were crossed. It was the damnedest thing I'd ever seen, and that was in my car. That was back in Minnesota, in the area where we lived, but it was absolutely mummified. Now it could have been a tree frog that jumped in my car, somehow got in my car. I don't know how, but that it just evaporated. All the moisture just evaporated because it was a hot summer and so on and so forth. And but its pose was what really kind of like, it's like, what the hell is that? That's really weird. But it's like its fingers were like this. It was making like these okay symbols on its chest with its hands, and they were crossed. And I was like, it looks posed. What is that? I don't even know. I don't know. And I carried it. I kept it. I thought that was the coolest thing. I thought, well, either this is something really cool or it's really bad. But either way, I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was neat. But it eventually just got knocked around and broke. And then I was like, well, okay, go be free, little frog spirit. But it was the neatest little thing. I don't know what the hell it was. It was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. Again, it could have just evaporated to being an amphibian that needs water and being locked in a hot car. But it's the pose that really freaked me out. It's like, how is he like meditating? It looks like he was going into a higher level of Zen there or something and just became a mummy. It was the craziest thing. Strange, Brent. Maybe it got into your stash. I don't have a stash, just a mustache. That's it. I'm not a smoker. I haven't been for a long, long, long time, but and that was about all I ever did. So there wasn't like any other esoteric practices with substances in my life. So it was just weird. It's just one of those weird things. Like well, what the hell is that? You know, another, what the hell is that? I don't know. But it was,
Yeah, it was a what the hell was that moment? Yeah.
yeah, I'm just glad that you were there. I'm glad that you were there because that's a story that just sounds so stupid. It's like, oh, you found a posing mummified frog. Sure you did. Yeah, I really did. And it was a little dinky thing, but it was like he was posing like he was in deep meditation, and just took the esoteric journey into the higher realms or something. I don't know. It's the strangest thing, but I thought it was. He looked so peaceful. It was the thing. He looked like he was just so peaceful. His eyes were closed, and his chin was up, and his hands were like this on his chest. And he was like cross-legged, or his legs were at least bent. I can't remember if they were cross-legged or just bent up really close to the body like he was squatting. But it was just the perfect pose. And I'm like, my God, what is that?
Yeah.
Jose Sanchez says, I had a small white frog that decided to visit my mom's kitchen sink every night for like 3 visits, and always perched in the same pose, sitting and looking the opposite way. Yeah, that's got to be a good omen, right? I think, right? What is Shelley saying? No, it doesn't, Brent. What is that? Oh, that it sounds really bizarre. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. I mean, it was weird. Yeah, I love frog legs too, Riley. You're right. Actually, yeah, we have them once in a while. There's an Asian food store near us, and we sometimes get frog legs and bring them home, and it's good eating.
Yep,
good eating.
Right. It is.
Yeah. Was coming out of watching Alien and stepped on a run over frog with bare foot.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's a little sobering experience. I jumped 80 feet straight up. I thought I was a xenomorph. Yeah. So anyway, that's one of those, another weird. I didn't even remember that. I remember it sometimes. It like pops up in my memories. Like, what does that mean? What is that? Could that mean something? Is that some symbolic of something? But I don't know. It's just a strange, weird thing. We used to catch frogs by the creek, Benno says, from Oz, and race them on the pavement in summer. See which one gets the furthest before. Oh, that's horrible. Sticking to the hot pavement. Yeah, that's horrible. Oh.
That is horrible.
I don't like that story anymore, Benno. I don't like anything to suffer, except mosquitoes. They can go to hell.
Yep.
Everything else I try to save, but mosquitoes can go to hell. All right, so let's get to another story here. We're on 23. Here's number 23 of our stories. We're going to go to this now. I have to preface this to give context, but I'm tired and on my phone, so this may be messy and kind of long. So I apologize. At the time, I was working nights in the munitions storage area, which is fenced off, with barbed wire. The whole area is pretty spread out with multiple buildings and definitely large enough that you generally drove around to get to other buildings. Due to the nature of the job, the buildings are spread out with clear space between them. Yeah, because if one goes up, you don't want to lose all of them. Sure. Well, anyway, the only people in the bomb dump on this night are the roughly 8 or so of us in my shop, and one guy in control that night. Well, he was in another building, and we had a direct line to him on what we called the bat phone, which is relevant later. This summer in South Carolina, and about 2 or 3 a.m., so the air was warm and very still. There was no breeze at all. And we had the break room door open while we watch a movie. We were on flight line support standby, and nothing was going on. Now, the rumor was the small building we worked out of had been built by German POWs during the war. And I know for a fact that there were some there back then. It was small with a main break room, small dispatch, office through a doorway, and a couple of offices off of that one. There were 2 doors, one in the break room and one on the same side of the building in the dispatch office, roughly 20 to 30 feet away from each other. Both had push bars on the inside, but just one. Both had push bars on the inside, but only the break room door could be opened from the outside, as the dispatch door's external latch was busted, and the only internal bar worked. Well, all of us, minus the guy locked down in the control building for security, are in the break room when suddenly ka-thunk, loud as hell from the dispatch door in the next room. And it was like someone was rushing through slammed the push bar, and the door swung open and then swung back shut after a couple seconds with a slam. We all look at each other like, what the hell, and started to check it out. We had mag lights in our crew books, so a few guys grab them and sweep around the building from both directions. Another guy calls the controller on the bat phone, who picked up and denied that he was screwing with us, and there was no way he could have messed with us and made it back to his phone in time, let alone doing it without being seen or heard. Anyone with experience knows how sound carries at 3 a.m. in the South Carolina summer. You could hear the beeps from code keys being pressed hundreds of yards away, no joke. No way he hoofed it back to his building anywhere near fast enough, gone through the halls, punched in his code, and got to the phone in time. But that got me. And but the stuff that got me was the damn bar. The door simply did not open from the outside. And we all heard that bar get pushed in hard. The door swung open, hung there for a couple of seconds, and then shut. There was absolutely no breeze, and hadn't been, it would have blown past us sitting in front of the only other door. It's really freaking weird. As an aside, there would be random times that I would go pick up a trailer or something behind one of the other shops at the far end of the bomb dump, and as soon as I stepped out of my truck to do my inventory, I would get a super bad vibe. I'm talking the heebie-jeebies like no other, and the best I can describe it, it felt like something was right above me and behind me and just hated me being there. Just seething rage and anger and hate. And it wouldn't go away until about 15 minutes after driving away from that building. One night, another driver who had arrived shortly before I had for a trailer asked if I had a weird feeling there, which sure as hell I did. So I know at least once someone else corroborated it. All of this was on mid-shift, which is 11 to 7:30 a.m. I heard other people's stories about weird stuff that would happen in the night, but since they aren't my stories, I can't vouch for their veracity. The only other thing that happened to me there was I swear I caught the clear silhouette of a guy walking in an open field between the igloos. As I turned to punch my gate code in the corner of my eye, I distinctly caught the motion of two legs and an arm sticking out like someone mid-stride, and when I turned back, it was just an empty field. That one could have just been my mind playing a trick, but man, that place could be freaking creepy, and it's been damn near 15 years, but it still gives me the chills to think about it. That's a little creepy, huh?
Just a little.
Just a little. I think we're going to close this part out here and get to the next part of the show. Are you ready, Sheldon?
Always.
Because it's time for...
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? It's time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into some what the hell is that right now. I've got several videos pulled up. We'll go through a few of them right now, and then we'll get to some Cryptid Corner. Got some Sasquatch Chronicle stuff to read you guys tonight. Some listener emails from the Wes Germer Sasquatch Chronicles blog. I almost said Facebook.
I know.
It's like, no, I mean, yeah, he's on Facebook, but not really. No, it's on his blog on SasquatchChronicles.com. So we'll get into that. So this is, what the hell is that? I've got to pull up the right page here. There we go.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to take a look at some things. I don't know if we're going to figure out what the hell it is, but we'll figure out something. This one I thought was pretty interesting. This one is being touted as a potential for a UFO interacting with what might be a comet or a meteorite coming down to the planet. It's a very interesting video. I like this one a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. This is coming from Canalvi Mos de Marte. I don't know whose Facebook page this is or what they're all about, but it's a great video. I don't know if it's been altered or changed. I don't know anything about it other than what you're going to see. But if it's legitimate, it really does seem that this comet or projectile or something is coming down, but then changes direction. So we're going to check that out now. Right now, as a matter of fact. Are you ready, Sheldon?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Here's the video. And again, it's, I want to make sure to get the name right. I can't really scroll it. Everything's the wrong size. It goes from a big screen right here to the smaller screen where I'm putting it on for you guys to see. And it's harder to check out. I think I will move the ghost radar though, because it's kind of, whoops, not that. That's not it. This. I'm going to move this to right under you, Sheldon.
Yeah, I'll keep it safe.
Thanks. Keep an eye on that, will you, please?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Here's the video. You guys be the judge. I'm not saying it is something or isn't. What you're going to want to focus on is right up here in the sky. A light orb appears. Now, you can see the trajectory of this object, which looks like a meteorite coming down. Could be a missile, could be a meteorite. I don't know. If it's a missile, maybe that makes more sense because maybe it did change direction because it's been programmed to. I don't have any background on this at all, but let's take a look at the video. You guys be the judge. The mysterious moment when a meteorite falls towards Earth, and at a certain point, it veers upwards. Again, watch the sky. Here it goes. Theories have emerged online because the meteor changes course right when a luminous sphere appears above. I think I'm going to kill that noise because it's irritating the hell out of me.
Same.
But it does seem to change its trajectory. Internet users already wonder if it's coincidence or the intervention of the UFO. Now, they did filter the video to show the color. You know, that's just a filter application, but it should show you if something's been spliced in there. You should be able to check the pixels when it's got a filter like that over it to see if it actually is part of the original footage or not. Again, I don't know anything about this, so I can't say, yes, this is absolutely real or no, it's not. But if it is a legitimate capture and this is what was recorded, it could very well be that maybe some of these people or beings from somewhere else are here to help. Could that be an indication of it? You do see the shifting direction, right, Sheldon?
Yes, I do.
What do you think of that, Sheldon?
It's... I need to watch one more time.
Yep, keep watching. That's fine. There's the orb appearing, and then it definitely arcs more to a horizontal position rather than a diagonal.
Why is the tail moving too?
Well, I mean, it does dissipate. It does bend. There is a bend in it
Like
right
the
there.
entire tail, like,
I don't think...
moves like it's straight, you know?
No,
Like,
that's not what I'm seeing.
I'm not talking about the very, very end, but like...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's obviously, if this is truly a meteorite, it's moving at incredible speeds. So this is like, you know, Mach 4 or 5 or something. I don't know what they reach, what kind of speeds they reach, but you do see a flexing on that as it's made that correction. I mean, it could be faked. I mean, obviously that has to be a consideration with anything we see. Maybe an optical illusion with the atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. It sure is. You're right.
It does, I mean, it goes like... It looks like it goes completely straight by the end, though.
Yeah, like it's been
almost
shifted.
completely horizontal, almost.
Exactly. And that's what I think is astounding. If it is a true capture, then something acted on it to make it. If it is a true capture of a meteorite, there's no reason it should have any course correction naturally, unless it caught a gravity well of something else. But that would take another celestial body. Probably bigger than the Earth in order to change its trajectory from coming towards the Earth. So there doesn't seem to be anything visible that did that. But the only anomaly is that light that appears and suddenly it's going a different direction. Like it's protecting a population center, honestly. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. Need more info? Fair enough, Riley. I think that's a good take.
Mark Paul on Facebook says, "Can you tell how much of a distance there is, miles or feet?" I
No.
would say probably miles.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, this is a pretty distant skyline view. So if it may even be beyond the city lights that we can see. So it could be literally miles and miles away. And there again, certainly atmospheric adjustments, the way the light is triggered. If it's really much further away than we think, then yeah, that's certainly a possibility that it's just more of a lensing effect from the atmosphere. I don't know.
People say it's a Silver Surfer.
Somebody say that?
Jose Sanchez. Oh no, Benno from Oz and Silver Surfer.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. I think the Silver Surfer changes direction often, so that could be it. But I don't know what we're looking at, folks. This is the first video. I think it's pretty fascinating, though. Well, it's definitely a what if, and the thing is that this is the only mention I've ever heard of this. I haven't heard anything else of a weird meteorite changing direction, and you'd think if it was a legitimate event, it would be all over the place. Like, oh, UFOs doing this. There'd be like 300,000 other channels that would be like trying to show it to get the clickbait. But this is the only one I've ever seen this on. So, as Mexican scientists said, it was a fireball that exploded in the air. What do you think? I don't know. I don't think it exploded. There's no sign of an expansion of the object itself. It just changes direction. So
I wonder why. Where's the rest of the video?
Well, again, it's a clip, and like I said, this is the only place I've ever seen it. I haven't seen a more robust version. I haven't seen, even coming out of Mexico, I haven't seen any stories or claims of this. So this is a standalone, which already makes it suspect, honestly. Because if it's only one source showing one video and nobody else is showing it, somebody might know a lot more than I do about it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's fascinating. Now, these kind of, an event much like this did happen during a missile test for intercontinental ballistic missiles. They were doing a missile test, and a UFO did appear during this missile test of the military, and it apparently zapped the missile like 3 times from different angles, and it raced ahead of it, zapped it, raced alongside of it, zapped it, and raced on the other side, zapped it, and suddenly the missile just falls apart. And there is apparently a video of that out there. There's a reenactment video out there that most people have seen, but apparently there's a real footage was captured during that military test, and it was very plainly obvious to the people that were there witnessing it that it was being attacked by some object that could move faster at that time than an intercontinental ballistic missile. So
run testing. It's like, I'll protect you guys. I don't know where this is going. I'll protect you. You're screwing up our test.
Yeah. It's just a test, damn it. Hello, Mr. Dave Scott of Spaced Out Radio. Good to see you, brother. Betty, it's great to have you here. Thanks for stopping in, man. Yep, exactly. So I don't know. Is this a real event? Is it a fabrication? Anybody's guess at this point, folks. I can't say, is this real or not? I don't have... I suspect, again, since it's the only mention I've ever heard of it in all of my browsing, and I don't know if it was last week or last year. I don't know if it was 5 years ago when this was, but it's a capture. So come to your own conclusions, but interesting. Could it be? Maybe.
I agree with Riley that there's just not enough info.
Yes. Yep. Exactly right. So there you go. That's the first one up on what the hell is that? But there's more, so don't worry. We got more, folks. Let me go to this one. I'll close that one. I got to shift here. Getting swamp underwear here in the hot studio.
You need another air conditioner, my lord.
I can't run one during the show. It'd be too damn loud. It'd be like,
just get a small one.
Yeah, I got a fan blowing at me. That helps. But I'm sitting on this big cushion, and it's like really getting saucy in here. And by the time I'm done with the shows, I'm plenty ripe. It's just like, oh God, I feel like I need to go hose off.
I've been in that room. I understand.
Yes.
Oh my lord, it gets hot in there.
Yeah, it's a funny house. But anyway, that was the first one. We've got more. I've brought more for you. This one comes out of a hospital. This is from a channel called Haunts and Hollers on Facebook. And it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Haunts and Hollers, ladies and gentlemen. Comes out of a hospital. Some strange events that were captured at a hospital, allegedly. So it says night shift at the hospital. So let's check out these videos. I think it's several of them, actually. But again, it comes from Haunts and Hollers on Facebook, so definitely give them your love too. The last one I can hardly pronounce, so I apologize. The one with the maybe UFO and the meteorite, but this one's Haunts and Hollers. I can pronounce that one. So go check them out. I'm sure they have tons more like this. But here we go. This is the next video on what the hell is that? Here it is. Let's check it out.
Did you hear her?
Yes.
You hear her?
And you can hear a little humming in the background.
She probably thinks I'm her mom. That was you.
No, I swear to God. Was that something? Bitch, come home.
So the door opening and closing, yeah, it could be legit, or it could be just a really aggressive HVAC system. There is a big vent up here, and if the door's ajar, it could maybe cause the door to swing around, and then the springs kind of catch it and close it a little more or something. I don't know. Speculation at any rate. I don't know what the hell's going on. It looks like she's part of a cleaning crew, this or a med tray. I'm not sure, but this is obviously an unoccupied room. Unless the person's in the bathroom and she's just being creepy. So, I don't know. You know, there's creepy people in the world. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But interesting enough. But it's when it's the humming part I found interesting because obviously with hospitals, they are automatically hotspots for presences, probably mimics quite a bit rather than actual presences. But in any case, it doesn't surprise me that there would be hauntings. Obviously, old hospitals that are decommissioned are incredibly spooky, haunted places. Just almost by definition. If you can find an old hospital that used to be open and running for generations and then suddenly was closed down, if you can get access to that building, I would almost guarantee you're going to experience something really strange and freaky. There's just so much. There's so much emotional charge to those buildings. There's pain. There's anger. There's rage, there's sorrow, there's hope, there's, any number of things, good things and bad things, but it's like this emotional barrage from any number of people that have been through there, leaving this imprint on the place. And if there was a place for an egregore to come together just because of energetic imprints, a hospital or a prison would be two of the top places that would generate some kind of haunting.
That's a good point. I mean, hospitals have the extremes of almost every emotion.
Yeah,
extreme
literally.
Anger, maybe from a loss, extreme sadness from a loss, extreme happiness from the child being born. There's an extreme of every emotion in a hospital.
Yeah, every possible emotional imprint is pounded into the actual brick and mortar of those places. So they are energetic hotspots. And so if there are indeed beings that travel and migrate towards darker, vibrations and sadness and pain and agony, they're going to go there. That's where they are. So much like prisons, which is much less happiness and joy and a lot more of the bad stuff. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool video. Are they legitimate captures? There might be. The humming one I think is pretty interesting. We can't really see much in any of the footage from that. But the humming stuff and the reactions seem pretty organic. Like these people are really hearing a humming, going, "Oh, what?" And then I think she must think I'm her mommy, and And then the humming gets louder, and it's like, oh, well, that's weird. And then one girl blames the other one. Oh, that was you. No, it wasn't me. And then the humming starts again right away. Like as she's finishing saying, no, it wasn't me, the humming again. So maybe if you haven't already, put on headphones or something and you can hear that much better. But the hums that they captured on that are pretty fascinating. Could be legitimate captures. So,
Yeah.
all right. I got one more we're going to go through. And we'll hit the cryptid corner to round out the adventure tonight. This one's kind of interesting. I don't know for sure what I'm looking at. I've looked at this one before, and I'm a little confused. But it apparently comes from the Apollo 11 footage of a UFO, is the claim. Again, I can't speak to any of it. I don't know for sure what I'm looking at, but it's kind of interesting. So let's check this one out. I got to be careful, though, because it'll automatically start playing the next one underneath it because of the type of window. But this comes from Paranormal UFOs Facebook page as of May 5th. So let's check this one out. Here we go. Back up on screen. I got to open the other window here so I can see better. Here we go. Here is the video. You be the judge. I can't really make it much bigger than this because of the... I have to make the window. I got to if I stretch it down, it's going to be off screen. So we'll just watch it in this size. But again, this comes from Paranormal UFOs group on Facebook. Please, give them some love. Go check out what they're doing over there and all of the videos they posted. Here we go.
By NASA due to a Freedom of Information request by Trump's team. This is the strangest footage I have ever seen. Watch and listen to this. This is from Apollo 11 inside the capsule, and watch what appears.
85. Okay, Charlie, we're at the list.
So I don't know if this is the UFO or what. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. It does look like somebody's looking out a window and there's like I don't know what this is. If this is the lander, I guess. And this must be the orbiter that they're taking the image from. But that's my speculation. Then what the hell is this? I don't know. But let's keep watching.
And the tracking index mark is the same. Roger, we copy. Houston, Apollo 11 Eagle. 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3.
And there it is up there. So
Houston out, over.
I don't think that's the sun or any other celestial object. Shouldn't be that visible. The sun would be much, much brighter. Whatever this is, it seems to be like doing loops around. Now, granted, they are floating in space. Maybe they're the ones doing the loops and this is stationary, but I still don't know what this is. And I believe that that's the claim, is that that's the UFO. So, and now it's stationary though.
Hello, Eagle, Houston, we're standing by, over.
Oh, now it's in motion again.
Eagle, Houston, we. Hello, Eagle, Houston, we're standing by, over. Listen,
And it's much bigger there. It's a space snake, Eric Fry says. Could be. There we go. So that's the image. I don't know. What the hell is that?
I wish there was more context. Like, okay, where are you? Where is this taking place during the mission? And I wish there was more context.
Yeah, I don't know at all what we're looking at, and obviously there's plenty of people out there that don't think any of this stuff was real. It was all done in a studio, which is kind of the first comment over here from Baba. Yeah,
did see that.
Is the moon landing what does it say? Just a studio production. It's fact and already spread worldwide, and now this. I don't believe that personally. I don't know.
Agreed.
And I'll tell you why I don't believe that the moon landing was faked is because it was the space race with Russia, we were not friends with. It was, at the height of tensions between the U.S. and Russia. And they had a lot of informants and spies all over the country. And we had the same thing for them. So, we were all up in their stuff. They were all up in our stuff. And if they had found out or had any inkling at all whatsoever that the moon landing was fake and basically allowing us, the United States, to take the space race lead, they would have exposed the hell out of it. Yeah. They would have. They absolutely would have. This is all fabrication. America is lying, and here's our proof. And they would have blown it up everywhere about how the United States was lying about their landing on the moon. Now,
yeah, why would they give that to us when we were enemies? Yeah.
Yeah, why would they let us have that win when they were way ahead, They had already put Sputnik up there long before we ever did a satellite or anything like that, and they had already had a man, circle the earth and return, and they were so far ahead of us, and then suddenly, plow, we put someone on the moon. Well, oops. And they just sat quietly and went, oh. But they wouldn't have done that. They would never have done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yep.
At any rate, that's my take on it. I'm no expert. Don't believe me because I say one thing or the other. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. But that's my take on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We are going to hit the cryptids because ain't much time left. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a presentation of this.
The hell is that?
It has been a presentation on what the hell is that, and but the good news is now it's a presentation of this. It's time for the Cryptid Corner, ladies and gentlemen, where we dive into all forms of cryptozoological study and intrigue as we try to figure out something about these weird things that are around in our world. And I've got several articles. These are listener emails from Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and these are fascinating. And again, please head over and support Wes's work on his blog. It's incredibly well done. He's constantly posting things over there as well. Phantoms and Monsters still is in its redesign. It's being rebuilt from the ground up, so that one's been out of commission for a while. Yeah.
Is it nice?
Yeah. I think it kind of, something happened to the site, so Lon's had to rebuild it, and we miss it terribly, of course, but yeah, there we go. So we're going to get to this. These are listener emails from Sasquatch Chronicles, and we're going to start out here. All right, so here we go from July 10th. Tillamook County Sasquatch Spot. A listener writes, Wes, I'm writing this after listening to several episodes on your podcast. The first I've ever listened to. I'll try to make this make sense, but I'm just piecing this all together myself. A lot of what I'm going to say revolves around my son, who won't discuss any of this anymore. Well, anyway, here we go. My ex-father-in-law has a small hay farm in Tillamook County. In the early 2000s, I used to head over there from the valley on the days off to help with hay. One particularly sunny day, we hit a lull, waiting for the windrows to dry so we could continue baling. I took this opportunity to jump on the quad and go up the old logging trail that led up behind the old homestead on the property, as it's surrounded by timber on three sides and a river bordering the front of the property. It was mid-July, quite warm, and around midday. I thought maybe I'd run into elk. There's a resident herd, deer, or even perhaps a bear. I've seen them near here. Well, as I got to the top of the trail, I veered west and further down the trail into some thicker brush and trees with plenty of sunlight still filtering through. Well, I crossed over an old culvert and a creek went through that fed a small waterfall down below behind the old house. Well, not long after crossing over the culvert, a feeling of dread came over me. That's fascinating that that comes up in these accounts. People just feel it. It's like hitting a wall.
Right.
Like nothing I've ever felt before. I can best describe it as my presence being wholly unwelcome. Well, I stopped at a wide spot on the trail with the intent of immediately turning around. Well, it was a large quad and not so wide spot as it turned out, and it took some jockeying to get it spun around and headed back the way from this place. And as I headed back the way I'd come, I had an overwhelming feeling that something was going to run up on me, pluck me right off of that machine and drag me away. I kept looking behind me thinking there would be something there, but I never saw anything. I pretty much sped back down the open 20-acre hayfields and stopped right in the middle. I'd spent some time in the woods dinking around. It's weird. It's actually weird to say that. Dinking around. Okay. And fishing the rivers a lot, but never experienced what I can only describe as a darkness being directed at me. For the duration of my time spent there over the next 9 years or so, I never ventured back up to that spot. So fast forward to around 2012 and the Finding Bigfoot craze. My 3 kids all loved to watch it. And all 3 had spent time on that hay ranch in the woods where I had my feeling years before. My son spent the most time there as he started riding on the tractor with his grandfather and when he was very young. His grandfather mounted a folding stadium seat with a seatbelt to the left fender of the tractor where my son would sit for hours riding with his grandfather, talking, or it says taking, baling, mowing, etc. Anyway, one day he tells me he thinks he saw a Bigfoot at the ranch with his pawpaw one day, a couple of years prior. On a warm summer's day, mid-afternoon, while he was riding with his grandfather and working the west field, a dirt road that runs the length of the property dissects in 2 halves. His grandfather says out loud, "What the F is that?" Grandfather is a gruff old guy and a Vietnam vet who operated on Mekong Delta with the SEAL teams, and who coincidentally has always maintained Bigfoot isn't real. Looking toward the east side of the field, on the east side there was a small finger that juts out into the field from the fence line against the woods where the grass grows tall and the alder trees establish themselves. As the slope is too steep to safely operate machinery, and it's left to grow naturally. Well, in the finger, my son said that there was what looked like a man wearing all black sitting on his haunches in the grass, just watching them. Well, I'm guessing this would be a little over 100 yards in distance. His grandfather keeps a scoped bolt-action rifle on the tractor for coyote and elk poachers, but never picked it up to get a better look. My son told me that he watched it for a while as it went back and forth, but eventually lost interest. He said that his grandfather, on the other hand, never took his eyes off the visitor. My son told me that eventually the man in black was just gone. Well, I asked him if he or his grandfather ever discussed what they'd seen, and he told me that they had not. The only thing he said was grandfather had said was right as they were leaving for the evening, and that was, "If you ever tell anyone what we saw, you're freaking crazy." Everything about this story, as far as his grandfather's behavior, is spot on and what I'd expect. My son later tried to tell me it was made up and just quit talking about it. For about the next year or so after that, after he told me the story, and after his mom and I divorced, we'd fish the river near the ranch, often for steelhead, cutthroat trout, and salmon. We normally fished within a mile either direction of it, and on 2 separate occasions, we had some strange goings-on. One late sunny spring day with little to no breeze in the air, myself and my 3 kids were around half a mile downstream fishing for whatever would bite and caught a few small trout. My 2 younger daughters were making bracelets out of their little flowers that they'd picked, while me and the boy casted endlessly. all of a sudden, from up the steep hill above us, we heard a thunderous crack and then boom. Occasionally, obviously a tree had fallen. And it was pretty unsettling. And I looked over at my son, whose eyes were as big as Frisbees, and with a panicked look on his face said, "Dad, it's time to go." I gathered everyone up and we left. A few weeks later, while fishing early morning for steelhead and within sight of the ranch, but slightly upstream of it, we had another incident. We were fishing 2 separate holes, separated by maybe 60 feet of heavily vegetated bank, when my son starts yelling, "Dad, Dad, Dad!" Thinking he had a fish on, I dropped my rod and rushed over to help. And when I got there, he was staring at the opposite bank where a small feeder creek dropped in, and I asked what was going on, and he said that he heard a huge commotion coming straight down the hill on the opposite side with branches breaking, etc. All of a sudden, a deer jumped out into the river right in front of him and then looked in the direction in which he just came and then bounded off onto the bank and ran up the river. My son said it sounded like a freight train was heading right at him. And it was soon after this that lost all fishing bravado. That he lost all fishing bravado and for a while would never be out of sight of me at the river. I think he finally compartmentalized these things and put them away. He never mentions any of this anymore and has moved on. Well, I no longer fish in the area and haven't for years. My son's an adult now and a farmer by trade, and as far as I can tell, he rarely spends any time at the ranch anymore. Thank you for your time. Wow. A little bit of territorial action going on there, huh?
Indeed.
That's kind of creepy.
Can't blame him for, just kind of walking away from all that, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. I mean, what do you do with it? Obviously, we're kings of the forest until we meet something like that, and then we're not. We're not. We're suddenly just a bunny, a little fluffy bunny,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's such an emasculating experience. Like when I got growled at, I was 14. I was kind of a man, in my own eyes. I was like, I'm a teenager. I'm like a man now. But then I got growled at, and I just felt like a little kitten. I was just so terrified. It was horrible.
Even me at 30, I'd probably feel like a kitten too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would change any if it happened today. I would still feel like a kitten, just, like whatever that is, it's scaring the hell out of me. And that's what they do. I don't know. I don't think that it's necessarily extraordinarily aggressive, but it's just they are the masters of their domain, And these, I think most of these encounters like this where you feel that horrible fear and dread come in is probably some alpha of the group. It's like, it's the big daddy that's probably sending those vibes. It's like, I could rip your lips off and not even think twice about it. It's like, yes, you could. You sure could.
Yep, you absolutely could.
Yep, you absolutely could. So, I mean, it's just a whole different world. Yep.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very crazy. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what these things are. I don't discount all of the claims because I can't know. It's just, it's hard to process because they seem like they live very naturally and very much in balance with their environment, but like any other, apex predator, really. I don't think that they, go out of their way to be mean, but I don't think bears do either, I think, I don't want to equate them to animals. I think that they're more than that in terms of complexity, in terms of intelligence and all of that. But then to think that there's somehow these esoteric masters of the universe as well, like they can open portals, and they can do all this really wild stuff that we can't even comprehend. It's like, well, how'd they get so far ahead on that deal? But, they're still living Stone Age culture wise.
I mean, we're probably on the same page. It's one of those things where I can't say that doesn't happen, but at the same time, it's hard to wrap your head around that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mark. Mark says, great job reading all that. Crazy story.
Yeah, it is.
Did I ever tell you what happened on 4th of July, by the way? I was
No,
meant
you
to.
didn't.
I was meant to give a shout out to this channel because I was down at the park here in town, and these 3 or 4 teenage kids come up and say, "Hey, you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel?" I'm like, "Okay, but you got to subscribe to mine." They're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. You got to subscribe to mine." Like, well, okay. What's your YouTube channel called? And like I said, Paranormal Portal. They're like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can subscribe to that." And I'm like, "Cool." I said, whoops, hold on. I didn't mean to leave this open again. But I said, "Okay, what's your channel?" And their channel name is Cars and Bars. Now it sounds like drinking, but they're actually weightlifting, you know. So they're into cars and they do weightlifting and stuff. Nice kids.
Oh, and bars, gotcha.
Yeah, cars and bars, meaning like barbells. But
Right.
but they were nice guys. But they were like, "Yeah, well, I'll subscribe to your channel." I'm like, "Okay, it's called Paranormal Portal." He's like, "Well, I'll do it later. Can you subscribe to my channel?" I said, and then I looked at him. I said, "Well, I'll do it later too." He goes, "Okay, I'll do it now." And then he did it. And he looked at my channel and then he was like, "Oh, can you give us a shout out?" So I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So, ladies and gentlemen, check out Cars and Bars. Some of the local teenage guys have a channel they're working on. So, give them your love.
And bars.
Cars and Bars. I don't know if it's Cars and Bars or Cars and Bars. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, they were nice kids, and they asked me to give them a shout out, so that's what I did. But it's kind of funny because I mean they don't have a lot of followers yet, but they're good. I've been watched a couple of their videos. They do a good job. $9.99 Vince Sanchez. Woo!
Hey.
Absolutely, Vince. It's what I love and live for. Well, that and my
find
family. No. Cars and Bars. Let me see if I can find them. Because I did subscribe to them. So let me take a look quick. See if I can find it. I don't remember. It's like Cars and Bars or Cars and Bars. CARSNBARS. Let me look. I'm gonna pull it up quick, see if I can find it. Tube.com/ I'll just do that and look for Cars and Bars because it should be one of my subscriptions. I did that. Yeah, there it is, Cars and Bars. So I'll put it up on screen here in a second. Cars and Bars, ladies and gentlemen. This is the channel right here. These are the guys, Cars and Bars, local group of guys doing videos and stuff. Good shape too. I mean, they're busting it out.
Cars and Bars.
Cars and Bars. Yep.
Bars.
Yep.
Yes.
It says it's apparently at White Gym People. What the hell?
What?
Look at it. It says at White Gym People. I think they rebranded. Good call on that for the record. I think that was probably a good call. But yeah, that's Cars and Bars. I don't know if they're paying attention. This is on the 4th of July, so I forgot until now to do it. But I thought, well, I should give them a shout out. So there you go, Cars and Bars. Check them out. Remember check out the conference again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would. That, of course, is this. Will be happening on October 24th, 2025 in Weymouth, Massachusetts. I'll be appearing alongside the Hometown Ghost Stories guys for a live event at the Barrel House Z in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Remember, go to Eventbrite, get your tickets, and if you use the code GHOSTS, I gotta look again. I don't remember if it was plural or singular, but I'm gonna look right now. If you use the code GHOST, GHOST, it'll get you 25% off your ticket. So only through the month of July though. So get your ticket and get it checked out. Local to Sandpoint, Idaho. Yeah, that's the town I live in, Phil. So Cars and Bars. There you go. Nice kids.
Cars and Bars.
Cars and Bars. Yep.
Well, I gave him a sub too.
Oh, there you go. Give them some subs. Give them some love, folks. They're trying real hard, and they were working the crowd looking for subscribers, so that was pretty cool. I wish them luck. I hope everybody that starts a channel does well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
anyway, but this event's coming up in October. Again, beginning of September, I'll be in Phenomicon with Sheldon. Thomas will be there with me. Right, Sheldon
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
And you will be in Missouri with me too, right?
Yes.
in the end of September, and then I'll be going to October 24th alone, but I'll be hanging out with the Hometown Ghost Stories guys. So sure, it's all kinds of fun and debauchery will await me there. No, not debauchery. They're nice
It's
guys.
always fun.
It's always
a good
fun.
time.
It is a good time. So, will you go live at the conference? Show us around the venue like you did at Montana? Yeah, I can. Did you check that out, Vince? When I did the one in Montana? Yeah, I can go walk you guys around Phenomicon. I have to be careful not to do it when the speakers are speaking and stuff, though, because they don't want that being recorded, obviously. So and aired out there because it is it's a monetized event, so they deserve to keep their presentations private. But I will definitely post pictures as well. So watch Facebook if you're not following me on Facebook or whatever. Follow me on Facebook, Brent Thomas page on Facebook, and watch for any postings there as well. So that is gonna do it though, and I hope you guys have a great night. Sheldon Thomas, thank you for joining me.
Of course.
Good. Did you enjoy yourself?
I always do. You don't even have to ask. That's an always consistently yes. When I say oh my God, I hated it. Oh, thank Lord, we're done. No, of course not. No, I always have fun though. I always do.
Good. All right. Well, it's a pleasure having you here, and thank you all for joining us again tonight. Really appreciate you being here and being a part of our journey. And I'll be back tomorrow night. I don't know if Tex will be able to join me or not, but if not, I'll be here to walk you through the portal tomorrow night, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, or whatever that means to where you live. So,
guys, don't forget. You know what? I'm just going to do it right now since I'm about to talk about it. Okay. Guys, don't forget to join this Discord channel. There's a really, really good Discord question of the week up there. I've been reading through the responses, and there's some really cool stuff there. I won't spoil it for you guys, but feel free to join the Discord, get in the conversations and into the new question of the week. It's really good. I'm really excited to see the reactions and hear more of the stories.
Yeah, we'll be going over that tomorrow night live on the show as well. So get over there into Discord, join now, answer the question of the week, and your response will be read aloud too.
Yes.
So then don't forget about paranormalportal.net.
Whoopsie. Yes, don't forget about that either. Here you go. I'll post that as well in the chat for all the home base of the Paranormal Portal. We can always stay up to date on when we're going live, when the new podcast is being released. And don't forget, if you have an amazing story to share, there's an interview me button right there where you can schedule your very own interview to get your story out there.
Absolutely. So that's going to wrap it up for us. Hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for spending your Friday here with us. And we'll get to, we'll be right back on tomorrow night for Saturday's show. So I'll see you then. Until then, you all take care. Remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. I'll see you tomorrow night, guys. Take care. Good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Good night.